doctor work for 9 months, 16 months, 19 months without getting paid.
But you see how much kidnappers are eating from victims.
My thing is, government should, all the stakeholders in that sector, they need to be spoken to. We sit together and appeal to them. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
So it is support that is needed. And once you get the support, your airlines will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning and welcome to Inside Nigeria, reaching you from Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Winifred Ubebo, and it's my pleasure being with you to present Inside Nigeria. Inside Nigeria is a program where we review major headline stories on our staple leadership newspaper and its sister publication, National Economy. And of course, we also add other papers for review. And with me today on the studio to review this paper is a public affairs analyst, Samaila Musa. So you're welcome to today's Inside Nigeria.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Today is a beautiful day.
Yes.
And you're looking great too.
Yeah, thank you so much. Same with you.
Thank you so much for being our guest in the podcast studio. So without much ado, we'll go moving over to our leadership newspaper. It is Nigeria's most influential newspaper and of course a leading newspaper too. So on the cover of the paper today, we have 45 days to PDP convention, North, Southeast I presidential ticket, Southwest 6 party chairmanship. 45 days to PDP convention, North, Southeast I presidential ticket, Southwest 6 party chairmanship. On the rider, consultations on zoning intensify. Ugwuanyi committee begins sitting today. New chairman can't assume office until Secondus, that is the PDP chairman, leaves or resigns. Musa, that is what we have on leadership today.
Okay, yeah, it's expected, even though long before 2015, the Southeast have actually been agitating for the power shift to their end of the South.
Yes.
But of course, as usual, they really don't seem serious to me. I mean, it just at that lip service level where just a few politicians who feel, let me use this as a bait to negotiate for some positions and everything. So really that's what we've been seeing all this while, and I really do not see Southeast, especially of all the southern regions, being united to actually claim power. The body language does not shows their seriousness yet. And of course, even before now, the PDP has always tilted that power shift to the north. I mean, based on the fact that it was Jonathan that was their last president, and is from the south, so they felt it is just okay for them as a party, not considering any other party, for them as a party to actually shift it to the north. So that has been on back and forth.
Last presidential election, they actually zoned it to the north with Atiku Abubakar.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That having Jonathan as their last president from that party, they felt the right thing to do is to shift it to the north, and that's what they have been maintaining. So really, it's not something that is new. It has always been there. It's just that some other people in the party are also feeling, no, why not we wait and see where the APC is going to zone its own presidential candidate, so that will help us to really know which zone will give us an advantage or put us at an advantage if we eventually took that route. But of course, none of this is new. It's been on. It's just the only one that I would say is new is the Southwest that is actually agitating for the chairmanship of the party. I mean, other than that, I don't really see anything new is expected.
Yes, Musa, but what could you say is responsible for the lack of cohesion among the Igbos? For instance, we had, is it Governor Umar? He's saying that this zone is not serious
Mm.
for the presidential ticket.
Yeah, I
What is
think
responsible for this? Why can't they form a
there's so much distrust among the Igbos, so much distrust. They don't really trust each other, especially politically, and that's why even the agitation for Biafra can never see the light of the day. It's given, there's always that division among them, even from time. There's some of the people who are not actually talking. They are not talking because they supported what's going on, but rather the fear of being stigmatized or being taken out or being, marked for some attack is the reason why they're not saying. But of course, they are walking on the ground to say, no, this can never hold. But so I see distrust as a major factor, actually.
okay? And Putin are also saying that should in case it emerges and if a southeast candidate emerges in one of the platforms, that it could be as a, they could only win maybe based on sentiment votes. Do you buy the idea?
I don't even see them. I don't see any Southeastern or Imagine now under any party. I not see any serious party as we have it. I mean, we all know the most serious parties now are just APC and PDP. I really do not see that happening. It's absolutely impossible except there's some crisis. I would say, oh, both parties have agreed that it's going to the Southeast. Other than that, really, I do not see that happening. Because there's no any serious party that feels with a Igbo candidate that the same Igbo region that is not united is going to win the rest of Nigeria. No, it's not going to happen really.
Okay, thank you so much. And Southwest too. Leadership carries is also shopping. Shopping. Can we have a leadership newspaper again back on the screen? We had Southwest six-party chairmanship.
Mm. Yeah, like I said, that's the only one that is new out of this in this headline. Yeah, well, expectedly, but I also have felt some serious persons in APC might want to, but of course, the Nigerian factor. Fear of the sitting president is always a factor where people really will not want to show their faces now to say they want to contest. But I feel uh, some Southwesterners, we want to contest for president under the APC. As a matter of fact, they are already agitating for it that it should be their region now. You understand? So the only reason why PDP is not talking about it is because they have zeroed in that look, our last president came from the south, so this time around should be from the north. But ordinarily, I mean, about the most serious region in the south is the southwest, as far as the presidential aspirant is concerned. So I think perhaps maybe PDP, some elements in the PDP might want to also try to give it a shot under that party if eventually the president gives a nod that some of these people actually have aspirations in the APC to contest. Some of them in PDP might also want to give it a shot.
To watch his body language.
Yeah, of course, that's the major thing because you begin to nobody wants to actually go in the back. In fact, so many people have learned their lessons. Even if the president has just 2 days to go, you don't want to be in his bad book because anything can happen.
Okay, but I want to also look at the second bullet there. It says new chairman can't assume office until Secondus leaves or resigns, and that has been another issue.
Yeah, it's constitutional. That is constitutional, except if they are able to, decide otherwise, or maybe the judge gave a different, judgment on that to say, oh, okay, now this judgment of this court is saying that, and I'm talking about a competent court of jurisdiction that says, oh, now the party chairman has to exit the party. Other than that, if it has a tenure, you just have to give him and wait till the end of his tenure. And he
said his tenure was elapsing December.
So I think they can just go ahead with whatever arrangements they want to start doing. And December is just around the corner. It's just that if he's desperate and he wants to take desperate measures, he also has the tendency to actually be a spoiler. He can decide to say, if I can't get it, then nobody gets it. So and decide to now begin to destroy the party before it's tenure. Yeah, yes.
Thank you so much there. From Leadership newspaper, we are moving to a sister publication, the National Economy. On national economy today, we have Nigeria risk entering debt trap as profile hits 35.46 trillion naira. Nigeria risk entering debt trap as profile hits 35.46 trillion naira. It's bogus there.
Yeah, you see, it's actually
Trillion.
it's something that really beats someone's imagination, because this party also was one of the people who were actually on the streets to protest that the Jonathan government was borrowing too much, and that has to come to an end. And unfortunately, perhaps they didn't study the economy very well, or they didn't come up with any blueprint on how to go. I mean, go about not borrowing this much actually, because you see the debt profile is unprecedented.
It
It's
is.
such that we have never seen in the history of this country before. And who knows, I mean, this is not the end. I really don't see it as the end, because it's something that it just keeps coming and coming and coming, and you really cannot tell what exactly these monies are being used for, because nothing in the economy is changing for good. I mean, positively, really. So it's something you feel what is really going on.
And so this on the backdrop that oil stagnation too. This quarter, first quarter, we also reported that there is oil stagnation, crude production.
Yeah,
Last quarter of the year. So, and crude oil is part of Nigerians' revenue.
it has always been predicted, and you see the fear is even that, look, something needs to be done, and that has to be even quick, because the problem is, in very short time from now, and I'm talking about just a few years from now, so many countries are going to reduce their consumption of crude oil. They perhaps not going to have much, because we know as it stands today, the vehicles are the one that are consuming much of this crude. So, and there's an alternative now coming up from different countries to say these are the alternatives to for your fuel. I mean, for your car. With they're going, the electric cars are coming up and all of that. So, what happens when the crude oil is no more selling? And this is an economy. Nigeria's economy is such that is majorly on crude. So how do you run the economy? Does it mean that Nigeria is going to be grounded? So I don't know if the leadership is actually not thinking in that direction to say, oh, all I'm concerned about is just to finish my own 2 years that is left. I don't care who dies, who lives after I leave. I mean, after my tenure expires, really, because serious countries don't behave like this. You have to plan. There has to be some planning that say, oh, beyond this 10 years, beyond this 20 years, what is going to happen? You understand? And here we are, we're still thinking, we're still, advertising our crude oil, and the world is gradually moving away from that, trying to develop their technology in such a way that there won't be need for this crude anymore. And this is the only thing that is fetching us money as a country. It's really something that it calls for serious concern and serious worry if we are serious-minded people to say, look, where do we go from here? Because even with the sale of the crude, even though it's a bit stunted, still we are still. I mean, where we are, foot dragging and everything. What about in the absence where we can't even make any sales in crude? What's going to happen? So I don't really see the government taking any step in that direction. So it's really unfortunate that we are where we are today.
And the news that leadership also carried yesterday was the fact that we are using about 60% to service these debts.
Yeah.
60% of our budget
of our budget to service debt. Yeah. That's you see that's what debt will do to any person, either individual or a nation, or it enslaves you. You understand? So we are in slavery indirectly, because when you are in slavery, you work your master.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're doing. It's unfortunate. And the earlier we realize that as a nation, the better. Because you see, what we have in this country is there's this lackadaisical attitude with us to say, oh, I don't care, let them keep borrowing. You don't know, your children will pay it. You understand? Somebody is borrowing, signing money every day, borrowing. You are thinking, no, let them keep borrowing. It does not concern me. No, governance is continuity. The next 20 years, people will still be paying your own children that you feel today you are not concerned. No problem. You are already doing it for them.
But how come, Smella, like the way you are thinking, how come our lawmakers who approves these
Yes.
loans, these debts, are not taking the same
It's selfishness. It's one of their major traits, one of their major character. They don't care really. The majority of them don't really care. When you go to their sitting, how many of them do you see on a sitting day? Some of them you hardly see them in the National Assembly. They just go just for familiarization, to know which ministry they are going to go and collect contracts and all of that. But they are almost absent in the National Assembly. So really, it's not new. That has been their stock in trade. Some of them just come there. They come there to run some other businesses because that's what they are known for. Other than that, really, I do not see anything they are doing. They are not serious, and they are not proving that they are ready to change. So really, it's sad that we keep bringing on board this crop of leaders year in, year out, and it's unfortunate.
Thank you so much. I want us to go back again to our staple leadership newspaper. There is a story there that has been trending. Federal government to states, no stamp duty recoveries for 5 years. And this on the backdrop that 36 states of the Federation, took the federal government to court to get their own share of the stamp duties that have been collected for the past few years. Right now, the Attorney General Malami is also writing them that there's a backlog. Look, we need to collect this. So what do you say to that?
Well, I really do not see the state governors are actually also not serious-minded people. You see, from time to time, they're also trying to just grab at anything. It's just like somebody who is falling, just trying to grapple at anything on his way down and stuff. Because you see, there are so many, if they are serious, there are so many avenues to generate funds. The ones that have been generated, what do they do with it? The allocations they are getting from the center monthly, what are they doing with it? Because you see, I don't want to take the line of the people who feel, oh no, whatever that is due for the state governors or for the states. I mean, I will even use state governors because as far as I'm concerned, they are the ones you are making the money for, not really the states in itself. You understand? Because I want us to even start asking questions from the security votes that is being given to them on monthly basis. Some of the states where you have this major crisis, if they have been using those security votes judiciously, you won't have these issues. Because in some states where you have headers, farmers clash, some of these headers who maybe their cattle were rustled and everything, if you take just a fraction out of that security vote, because this is when you're talking about security, it's holistic, it's encompassing. To say, okay, as a state governor, what do I do? What kind of palliatives do I put in place? How many of your cows were rustled? You say 120. You are 60. You even give them half of it. How much are they selling cows? You understand? And this thing, you won't even know you have pulled out anything from the security vote.
Yes.
But as far as the governors are concerned, those security votes are what is called, what is called Adashi in Hausa?
Yes.
When you have monthly contribution.
Yes.
They will have where the money in whole, they have where they are putting it as monthly contribution, so that at the end of the year, they know how much is in their pocket. It's their own. It's given, they feel there's nobody that is going to share out of this money. And it's unfortunate. You understand? And that's why you keep having some of these issues.
Honestly, could have gone able to resolve
Of
these
course.
crises that we are having.
That's exactly what the money is meant for. The money is not meant for just buying a van for police officers. Some of these issues you have to clap. We had an issue in Oyo State back in the days where Adidigo and Ladoja were having issues. The man was saying, look, I'm the one who says no crisis in this state and there's no crisis. So tell me, who are you giving the security money to? Because I'm the one who says the state is on fire and it everywhere will be burning. So who are you giving it to? So if you identify stakeholders in the area of security, some of them, even if you just give them the money in their houses, nobody will say jack. Because they are the people who have the thugs in their hands. They are the people who have the headers and the farmers who have guns to go and cause crisis. If you take care of them, everywhere it is settled.
And do you know that in what you just said, there are allegations that most state governments actually incite crisis in their states in order to increase their
of course.
vote.
We all know how this is. We know how all this is play out.
There are crises in my state.
Yeah, and this money is not enough.
We need to up this.
We know how all these things play out. Ordinary at the Nance level, you see how as small, that's just a microcosm. Nance was having an inauguration here in Abuja. The person they gave money to say you are in charge of security is the one who brought talks to that place. To say, yeah, how will I justify the money I was giving? He brought talks to that place. If the ones they cause chaos, he's the one to tell them, no, just calm down now. Give it like in another 30 minutes, I'll give you a signal. You understand? It's a culture in Nigeria. So really, it's not new as well.
That's so funny.
You know.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, from leadership newspaper, we're moving over to the Daily Sun. Daily Sun has on its cover the headline story. CAN, that is Christian Association of Nigeria, expresses worries over migration of Boko Haram to Kaduna. CAN expresses worries over migration of Boko Haram to Kaduna and says it's dangerous, bad omen.
Now, everybody should be worried. Everyone should be worried. And the reason why everyone should be worried is because you see what we've been having in Kaduna has nothing to do with Boko Haram all this while. And yet the security operatives could not contain it. So by the time Boko Haram now joins that, and you see, I said this at different forum that look, when you say you are granting them amnesty, when Boko Haram are coming out in their droves and they are raising their hands to say they are giving up, and security report says because they ran out of food. So hunger is driving them out. Is there proper profiling of those people before they mix up with the rest of us in the society? What are their motives? Because they might sit down there in the Sambisa forest and hold a meeting and say, well, since the source of food has been cut, the source of funding has been cut by half, we won't be able to survive. Let's go and strategize before we be able to get other means of doing that. But now let's go out there, raise our hands and say we want to embrace the amnesty. But please, once you get in there, start recruiting who you can recruit. We're going to find a means of how little money we get across to you to get houses wherever you want to get houses for rent and stuff like that. And then you're going to start recruitment in earnest. And then depending on where we can access this fund that is in social country or social location. And then our own security operatives are folding their arms and they are cheering them and just clapping, not knowing that we're just shifting the evil days. You understand?
Yes.
It should be a source of worry because Boko Haram also has seen that, well, if at the borders there's no way out, then at the center there should be some support. So, and now they are coming because they see the way the bandits are actually making headways in Kaduna as a whole now, because the whole of Kaduna state is infested by bandits all around the place. There's no place that is actually safe, so they are feeling, oh, it seems that place is even a safe haven. So really they are migrating there, and it should be a source of a source of concern and worry to our government, because by the time Boko Haram mixes up with bandits, it's going to be a very dangerous place. And looking at the proximity of Kaduna to Abuja,
that there is one at the same time.
It's not. And I'll tell you, when the issue of Kakara school boys happened in Katsina State, that 330 kids were rustled in broad daylight. We went there. We went to the scene of the crime. We also had a meeting with the governor. And you see, I look at the whole thing holistically, and I feel, because at a point we said we were going to even have hold a protest starting from Daura to Katsina, that those boys, they need to bring them back and stuff like that. The governor told us categorically to say, look, we had this security report that Boko Haram is already reaching out to the bandits who wrestled these kids. And that's why we want to do everything that we can. We're going to make money available, whatever it is that has, because by the time these kids get into the hands of Boko Haram, it will not be the same negotiation anymore. You understand? Because the bandits don't even have the sophistication of Boko Haram yet. So Boko Haram was already reaching out to them to see how they can, pay for those kids and get them, because they know what they did with Chibok girls, how much money it fetched them eventually. Because at that level, what Boko Haram will have been doing is to start releasing those boys either in 2010 or in 2020, collecting billions from the government. Even though nobody will tell you ransom is being paid anywhere. But we all know what is going on. So really, it's sad, and it should be a source of concern and worry, not just to CAN, but to virtually everybody who is a stakeholder in this.
And also, Musa, we also heard that most of these Boko Haram that surrender, so to speak, to the security. They are also being settled in Kaduna. That's also part of it.
Well, whether is it, are you saying they're officially being settled or they are going there on their
there were
own?
reports that they are being settled.
Whatever is the motive, whatever is the motive
Before
behind
we go
that.
further, sorry, we need to go on a short break.
Okay.
They just told me that.
Okay.
So please don't go away. When we come back, we'll continue on our newspaper review.
Yes, please. Le Vogue magazine is back in a big way, bigger and better than before. Hadiza, could you please join us here? Hadiza and members of Adam, please. Your attention is needed here. So Le Vogue is back and bigger, demonstrating the fact that despite the demise of the visioner, the vision continues and continues to grow. What else does a man want than that you have lived and your legacies remain and keep growing stronger?
He would just lift it up and then you just lift it.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it now is my very special pleasure and privilege to ask His Royal Majesty, the Sultan of Sokoto, the chairman or chairperson of the leadership group, to come forward and join me and hold on to one bit of this cloth so that we can jointly unveil the bigger, better, deeper Le Vogue.
Welcome back. I'm pleased to announce to you that Le Vogue, an all glossy, glossy fashion and lifestyle magazine is back on the staple of leadership newspaper. So don't forget to grab your copy. It comes out every week. Thank you. So, Musa,
Yes.
we're back again on Daily Sun newspaper.
Yeah.
Khan expresses worries over migration of Boko Haram to Kaduna.
Yeah. More worrisome is the last statement you also made that they are actually being settled officially in Kaduna. You know, I do not know the idea behind that. I do not know what informed the decision of the government to support or to be involved in such a venture, because it's actually a very dangerous trend. You see, psychologically, you will know that if you have a child that is stealing, the way to make him to stop is to make sure you take him away from where he can get something to steal until when he is fully, gone through the therapy well. You understand? But you don't, a child that you're just trying to make him to stop stealing, then you left him alone in the house. You kept meat in one corner. You don't want him to steal. And time and time again has shown that, look, even people who are kleptos or who are stealing money here and there in government and all of that, or in any establishment, the way to go is when somebody is caught, then after 1 month you say, oh, he has changed, then you transfer him back to finance department. Is there any sense in that? It doesn't make any sense. So how can Kaduna, that is a hotbed of banditry in the whole of northern Nigeria, or even the headquarters in the whole of Nigeria as a whole, as we speak right now, Boko Haram that they are coming out to, you are not taking them to the hotbed of crisis. That's where you are going to settle them. What informed your decision to say, oh, these people are genuinely, they've actually stopped this thing? You understand? It's just that you're trying to now, inaugurate them or transfuse them from that Boko Harism to banditry, because it doesn't make any sense. In a short time from now, they begin to study it to say, oh, if we can't thrive in Boko Haram, then this one that is thriving, why can't we join them? So I don't really see any sense in taking them to Kaduna to go and settle them down for what?
Thank you so much from Daily Sun. We're moving over to our next paper for review. The paper is The Nation. The Nation today, Thursday, September 16, says UNICEF attacks scare 1 million kids from schools. UNICEF attacks scare 1 million kids from school. And on the byline, we have parents keep children away in fear of abduction. And there's a statistics there too on the cover of the Nation, which says that 37 million naira kids, I see million naira. Why is the naira money comes to my mind?
You love money.
37 million kids expected back. 20 attacks on schools. 37 million kids expected back. That is in states affected, Zamfara. And on the 20 attacks on schools is from Katsina. 1.436 pupils adopted in Niger, and 16 children dead, 200 missing in Kaduna. And Musa, don't forget that Nigeria is battling out of school a lot, large number of out of school children. And now, in the face of insurgency, it has made it worse.
Yeah. As it is now already in the whole world, I think Nigeria is on the top. It's topping the chart of out of school children.
Yes.
So, and one of the factors is actually these attacks by bandits on school, pupils and all of that. But of course, it's also expected. I mean, what do you expect? In a country where we're struggling, especially in northern part of the country where ordinarily is a very backward region in terms of education, that we're struggling to get kids back to school, and then you start having incessant attacks on school. Of course, parents will be discouraged, because if you encourage me as a parent to take my child to school and he got abducted once, I mean, the trauma, because you see, it's beyond just, oh, you had 200 kids were released. You're not taking into cognizance the trauma that the parents went through. Have they gotten out of that shock? No. A lot of them will never, some of them will vow that their kids will never step back to school
because
again.
there's a saying that somebody that is alive that can actually attend
school. You understand? So really, it's and that trend is going to keep going on for some times now, except if government is doing something that will make people to forget in a very short time. Other than that, really, I do not see. Even Kaduna, as civilized as Kaduna is, the Bethel school parents, I've heard from accounts, some of their parents who are saying never, if they will go, then it has to be somewhere that is very, very safe because of what they went through. You can imagine families that are struggling to pay school fees are now pushed to an edge where they have to go and cough out millions. You understand? Start borrowing money from both banks, from cooperative, from all of that. It's not something any parents want to go through in actual sense, and really, I do not see that changing in any time soon. It's going to continue until people are convinced that, oh, really, yeah, the government, not even people who are involved alone, people who witness it, that, oh, our family friend or my neighbor will not want that to happen to their children. They don't want to go through that. So you rather say, oh, let them be schooling home schools, than for me to now start looking for money that I don't have anywhere eventually. So really, it's a trend that is going to go on for a very long time. And unfortunately, you see some of the 16 children dead in Kaduna and 200 missing. Where are they? Nobody can tell. And the government is also, as a matter of fact, at the point the government was actually warning the parents not to talk to any media, not to talk to anyone, not to talk to any civil society organization. They are on top of it, and you are not giving them any positive feedback. And if your child is involved, then that's when you will understand, what it is. It's very easy for governors to say, "Oh, if my child is involved, I'll still be calm." It's all balderdash.
And in most of these adoptions too, you heard that parents were still the one who went to source for the money
Of course,
to
they have
rescue
to.
their
Especially in states where the state governor is saying, "Oh, no, 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 I'm not going to pay a dime." And you as a parent, there's that attachment which the governor is not feeling because his child is not involved.
So there are far-reaching effects or consequences from this adoption, especially in terms of education in the north. So what do you think? What is your say on it?
The only thing I said is what I mentioned earlier, except the government is taking serious steps that will make people to forget in a very short time from now. There's how you see the body language that there's so much seriousness that oh no, this thing is going forever. We're not going to hear it anymore. So parents will begin to gradually come out of that shock. Some of them will have to go through some therapy that says, "Oh, okay, this is not going to happen." Some counseling that will give them boost their confidence to allow their children to go, especially the ones in the boarding house and stuff like that. But if the body language of the government is still what it is today, this trend is going to continue for a very long time.
Very long time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I think that is it for now on Inside Nigeria now newspaper review, and that is where we'll be calling it an end. For more stories on our staple leadership newspaper and the sister publication National Economy, please go to our website and read more. So, okay, we have a comment. We have a comment. A comment is coming in from Adebayo Modu, and he says, according to the DMO Debt Management Organization, Nigeria's total debt 12.12 trillion as of June 30, 2015, when President Muhammadu Buhari took over. Okay, in other words, Nigeria's debt was 12.12 trillion
at that time.
Yes, when Buhari took over.
And today,
however, stood at 35.4
4.
trillion. Yeah, you can even see better than I do.
Yeah.
So that is we have a gap of about 23 trillion
Yeah.
that has been borrowed under his present administration. It's really, really sad.
So far, that's not the end yet. So.
And from Suleiman Yunus Adanladi says, what happened has happened. Let's not keep dwelling in the past. Let's hope for the best. It's as simple as that.
There's not anybody that makes progress in life without looking at what happened in the past. You need to check, where have I made mistakes?
Exactly.
I failed. What makes me fall? And that's why the elders, there's a verbiage that says, when the elder hits his leg and something, he looks back to see what is it that was trying to fall me. It's only a child that falls down and just stand up and keep running.
Exactly.
You understand?
God always remind you.
You get what I'm saying? So you need to check what we did wrong. We can't behave as if we are charlatans. You fall down here, you just say, no, let's just keep running. Running to where? We need to check, reassess what actually happened. What mistake led us into this? How did we get into this? So it will help us to now make amends. Other than that, we're going to fall into a ditch that are deeper than this one if we don't check what happened in the past.
I agree with you, sir. So that's how it has been on Inside Nigeria. And don't forget, tomorrow is still another date. And thank you so much, Samela Musa. It's been a pleasure having you in the studio with me.
The pleasure is mine.
Yes, thank you so much, viewers. Tomorrow is another day, same time. Don't forget to keep it date. I remain Winifred Ugbebo. Bye.